Hi everyone, my name is Vish and this is Simply Vish. Today I'm going to be talking about a really important topic, and that's Black Lives Matter. This movement has come to the attention of the world, and it's definitely a long time coming. And I wanted to talk about this movement today because I'm at this point where I'm trying to educate myself. I'm trying to learn as much as I can about the movement, about the African American community and how I can help them and use my privilege to bring them up. And like I mentioned, I'm in the process of learning too, and I'm not an expert, but I thought I could share on this platform a little bit about what I am doing to learn more and what I'm doing to help during such a pivotal time in American history. To kind of jump into it, what I started to do was just reflect on my privilege. I'm a South Asian woman, and I'm, the first generation that was born here, that was educated here, and I still have so much privilege compared to the African American community. I realized, through the process of educating myself, that without the civil rights movement, the acts that were put in place to allow people of Asian descent to actually immigrate to the US wouldn't have ever happened. We wouldn't have ever been allowed into this country. And that's because of the innate racism that has been in the American system. And it's really unfortunate, but it is what it is. And I've done my research and I've seen that the system was created to benefit white people. And that was something that I was naive to, I was not completely aware of. And this movement is so important because as a minority, as a privileged minority, it's our job to bring these people up. It's our job to help them and create an equal playing ground. So after reflecting on my privilege and understanding that, I turned to my community. There's a Instagram handle that I follow, which is South Asians for Black Lives. They had an amazing live on Instagram where they spoke about the Black Lives Matter movement, how you can speak to people in your community, educate people in your community, and also educate yourselves on the movement. And I learned a lot from that. So I would definitely suggest following them. Through the Instagram live, I learned that, having self-awareness of your privilege, reflecting back on history and understanding what actually happened. And then turning to the Black community and looking for opportunities presented by African Americans within the community of ways that we can help. Because in the end of the day, as a South Asian woman, how do I know where their pain points are? How do I know where they need help? You have to turn to the community and see where they need help. And then after that, that's when you can really take action. That process, that step-by-step process really helped me kind of understand the moves that I should make and how I should proceed. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos right now too. And I saw this one YouTube video that spoke about the looting and the rioting that's happening right now. An African American woman spoke to it, and she said that for centuries, African Americans have been marginalized. They have been treated brutally, and they're being told, you have equal opportunities now, why can't you keep up? And she provided an amazing example which really cleared everything up for me. Imagine playing a game of Monopoly, but for the first 244 years, you didn't have any money. And then you were asked to play for the next 157 years. What would happen? You don't own any property. You don't own anything. Your money is feeding the wealth of the American society, but you're not benefiting from it. It wasn't a level playing ground to begin with in that 157 years after slavery was abolished. It wasn't a level playing ground. I immediately thought, how can they win? How can we bring them up when there isn't a level playing ground to begin with? And that's where understanding where they need help is so important, because that's when you can learn, I should be donating to this cause. I can bring attention to this cause. I can talk to my network and my community about why it's so important to help these people out. And the thing is what has been happening is that there has been immense police brutality against African Americans. Cases like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor are clear cases where there's literally no justification, no clear reason for why these innocent lives were taken. George Floyd was suspected for forging a $20 bill, and he was innocent, and he was killed brutally. Breonna Taylor, her house was broken into because they suspected her for dealing drugs, and she was innocent, and she was shot and killed. The police brutality needs to stop. It needs to stop. And I think the policing system itself is created, once again, to benefit the white people in society. It doesn't make sense why African Americans are targeted the way that they are, and the system itself needs to change. There needs to be policies in place to prevent things like this from happening in the future. And that's why I've started to follow Campaign Zero. They've created 8 different structural changes to the policing system that can make a huge difference. I recommend following them. I recommend donating to Campaign Zero and just learning more about how the policing system needs to change. And I don't think that all cops are bad, but I do think that there is something innately wrong with the policing system that needs to change. And that's something that the Black Lives Matter movement has been pushing for so long. So I'm here to support that. I'm here to educate my community on that and help them understand how they can help too. So what I've been doing is I've been donating every day a small amount to a different cause, but there's so many other ways that you can help out the community. And the best way that we can help, if we're not actually out there protesting, is by educating, by telling people, by sharing videos. So I've also watched a video done by Hassan Minhaj, and that was an amazing video where he spoke to the South Asian privilege that we have in America and also how we can help. And there's so many people out there that are lawyers, that are doctors, that have opportunities where they can open their doors to protesters, where they can provide free healthcare to protesters, where they can represent protesters pro bono, and just finding opportunities to help. Even if you can't be on the ground walking out there, you can still make a difference. And I encourage you all to do that. It could simply be by buying products from African American entrepreneurs, buying food from restaurants that are African American owned, sharing content from African American creators. There's so many African American YouTubers that you can help by simply watching their videos. You can watch them on repeat, and some of these YouTubers get ad revenue from YouTube or from using their Amazon affiliate links. If you need to purchase something. Those are all ways that you can help out. Giving them opportunities to stand out, giving them opportunities to rise up. That is our job right now. You can make a difference sitting at home. You can register to vote. You can call your political officials, make sure that they're aware of the injustices, aware of the brutality and what needs to change. And you can sign petitions to get justice for people in the African American community. Make your voice heard. There's so many things that you can do. So I encourage you to use your privilege, to use your voice, and don't let this just be a quick Instagram post or something that you speak about for maybe a week with your friends. This is so much more than that, because it is our duty to fight for them. It is our duty to make a difference when they were the ones that made such a difference and made us even being here possible. This is the time for change. We can facilitate change by being active and continuing to push for progress, to push for change. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope that you guys found this video helpful. I'll be posting a lot of sources that I use, a lot of the Instagram handles that I follow in the description below. Please follow them. Please donate if you can. Please watch the videos. I am listening to tons of podcasts too. I can link them below so you can check them out. Educate yourself. That's the best thing we can do right now to learn more about how we can help. You know, find ways to find happiness every day, and also bring happiness to others, because when you bring happiness to others, it also is something that will make you happy inherently too. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know what other resources you guys are using and other ways that you're trying to educate yourself. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you soon.